It was actually recommended to me by my sister-in-law, Christy, who had volunteered with Habitat.
We've tried everything else, like looking at houses to buy and that, and there's nothing we could really afford. And going through Habitat, we can actually afford to do this.
Living in an apartment with 6 kids is kind of really hard. So there's no freedom for the kid. So it would be like noisy for the neighbors. So it was kind of rough for us.
For me, it was probably just deciding to do it.
Yeah, I did. It was just mainly the hours you have to put in because I work landscaping and it's my whole time through the summer is pretty busy doing that because it's only like 9 months long.
My biggest fear was because it was our first time owning a house, how to take care of it. But in my perspective, I have no fear. So we knew it. We were going to take care of it. If we made it through that 17 years living in an apartment, why not? It's gonna be our own house. We're gonna own it, and it was very excited year for us to have Habitat accept us to own a house. Yep. Well, to be honest, it was pretty easy for us. They were kind of excited that we applied for a Habitat Humanity, and it did not take us that long. It was pretty smooth process for us.
You have to make a certain amount of money to qualify that you can pay your loan, but you have to have a low enough income that you wouldn't qualify for maybe a more traditional mortgage. So you kind of have to fall between 2 figures.
They were helpful. They had one helper that helped us fill the questionnaire if we have difficulties, can't understand the question. So they do have volunteer to come over and help us fill the application out. So that was kind of nice.
I think that process was pretty easy. When I was going through it, I think I had one appointment at the Habitat office where someone went through all the paperwork with me. It was very easy, and shortly after, they let me know I was approved.
I love it. I've always wanted to build my own home. So.
I learned a lot.
I love it. Yeah.
3 different house styles that we can go from, and this is the one we picked because it was actually the bigger one with the 4 kids and that. So.
Being a Habitat family, there's a requirement, a certain number of hours you need to volunteer to Habitat. Not necessarily just building. You could volunteer with the Restore or at the office doing office work. But I did spend many Saturdays and Wednesdays actually on the build site.
Well, it was quite fun for us. Especially me. I never built a house before. My trade in school was electrician. I did a little bit in construction, but not very much. But it was pretty nice for me to build my own house.
To be able to work on the house and see how everything's done and learn a few things. So actually later on I could say, hey, I built those steps like I did. I got to help build them and all the other stuff. So
my favorite part was building the house with all these different people from different majors. We have scientists, we have militaries, so it was kind of fun working with all of them. We even have folk that went over to Africa and work over there, help, and they here helping me, and I came from Africa too, so it was kind of interesting. So I really miss them, and hopefully I think they miss me. They miss all of us too. So
I got to know a lot of really great people. The foundation crew in Brookings was a group of guys that were there pretty much every Wednesday, every Saturday, rain or shine, volunteers, and I just learned so much from them, not just about building, but we would just talk about life and other things and families. And I really enjoyed just making those connections and getting relationships with other people.
Back then, when we were in apartments, we have to make sure kids are quiet, no running around because there's neighbors sleeping and all of that. But like living in your house, it's gonna give us freedom now. I don't have to tell them what to do. They have downstairs, they can do whatever they want to. They want to run upside down. There's nobody to be annoyed anymore, or we have no landlord except we are our own landlord. So it is kind of big change for us.
The siding on the house I didn't know how to do, so I was learning with them. Actually, some knew how to do vinyl, and we didn't do vinyl, so we're both sort of learned how to do it, and that was fun, actually. So
actually, our house is like probably the house that every kid want to come to. So everybody's like knocking the door maybe about 2 hours from now when they get off of school. It's gonna be crowded here. So but we love it. As long as they get along with their friends, that's what we want. Yeah. So it's a big change for them. It's nice to go to school and say I'm going back to my house. No more going to apartment.